Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, three pieces of information here. First, the Russians claim they attacked, been bombarded, an Ukrainian airfield with possibly F-16s on it, but definitely they destroyed the airport, according to the Russians. This is the first one, and the other one is plus the instructors. We have instructors over there, and the other two are two countries who one decides to allow Ukraine to use its weapons provided to Ukraine to hit inside Russia, and the other one does not allow. Both of them are NATO member states. One of them is Johnny come lately, but still, I don't think it's 100%, is it? I'm talking about Sweden, obviously. So Sweden turned from a neutral country into the tip of the spear in allowing Ukraine to use its weapons in attacking Russia per se. What's changed? Well, you know, Sweden is occupied not only by its how should I put it nicely, by new influx of human beings, but are occupied by the Americans as well, and the Americans are occupied by the interests that harness that country. So let me start with Sputnik. This article comes from yesterday, which is the 26th of May 2024. Russia strikes Ukrainian airport adapted for F-16 jets, blasts energy infrastructure. I don't think the F-16 jets, if they are to fight in Ukraine, will take off and land from Ukraine. And remember what the Russians already said about that. If the Ukrainian airplanes land again in Romania or anywhere else in NATO territory, the Russians will strike those airfields inside of those countries. That happened in early, I think it was March or April, maybe 2022, right at the beginning. An Ukrainian airplane ran away and landed with the accord, with acceptance of with a green line given by the Romanians. And the Russians told them, if you do this again, motherfuckers, we're gonna destroy you. And Romanians said, yeah, you, okay. So let's read this article. Moscow started to conduct precision strikes on Ukrainian military targets and the power grid in response to a string of terror attacks on Russian land, including a blast on the Crimean Bridge in October 2022. The Russian armed forces hit military and energy infrastructure in the city of Starokonstantinov. The representative of the underground resistance told Sputnik. He added that Moscow struck a military airfield that is currently being prepared for Western F-16 fighter jets. And I'm quoting, one of the strikes was targeted towards military training grounds in Starokonstantinov, where, according to resistance data, foreign military equipment is deployed and drafted Ukrainians are trained to use it. Foreign instructors conduct the training. End quote. He explained. So what do you think? These guys are not going to tell you that their instructors. Their pilots are already being blown up before they even go in the cockpit. They will not. And even when they are going to fly those, these guys will not tell you that actually it is their pilots fighting. Like remember the Korean War, when the MiG-15s started showing up on the Korean, air over there. They thought it was the Koreans. It was the Soviets, because they intercepted the communication of the Soviet pilots. The same here. I'm 98% certain it's not going to be Ukrainians piloting F-16s if they get in the air. Now, Ukraine form. Let's go and see this one. Sweden allows Ukraine to use its weapons for strikes inside Russia. Sweden has allowed Ukraine to use its weapons to attack military targets inside Russia. Well, if I were the Russian, and I'm not, I would say, okay, Sweden, you are at war with me, boom. And the guy's going to say, well, I'm going to attack you. Boom, 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 ba-bam. Crazy? Crazy. But what am I supposed to do? Let you hit me and I cannot hit you back? Why? Because I'm afraid to be called crazy? No, your weapons kill my people. You are responsible. And the guys who pulled the trigger. If you didn't have the trigger, the guy cannot pull but only his balls, scratch his balls with a squeezing, okay? Now, that's according to a Swedish news outlet, Hallandsposten. Ukrinform reports. Journalists sent a respective request to Swedish Defense Minister Paul Johnson and received the following answer. This is the answer, the justification, childish. True, I agree with the justification, what he says here, but it's just half of the truth, half of the issue. And I'm quoting, Ukraine is exposed to an unprovoked and illegal war. I don't think it was unprovoked. NATO provoked it big time. And provoked it what? Was Russia coming towards NATO or NATO towards Russia? You can say nothing illegal. That's correct. It's correct. But don't you think that if I move with a certain kind of face closer to you and I have antecedents, don't you think that you say, hey, Emil, personal bubble here, back off? No, I'm allowed to come as close as I can. As long as I don't touch you, I'm allowed to be next to your face. But I will tell you, if you come closer, I will smack you. I will defend myself. I will protect my integrity, if I have any, right? Now, Ukraine is exposed to unprovoked. That's a lie. I'm not saying Ukrainians provoked it, but the guys in charge of Ukraine definitely worked on that. An illegal war of aggression by Russia, according to international law. Oh, now we have international law. Okay. Ukraine has the right to defend itself through military actions aimed at the enemy territory, as long as the military actions comply with the laws of war. Sweden stands behind international law and Ukraine's right to defend itself. Okay, end quote. Yeah, that's true. But let me ask this Swedish imbecile. So let's say tomorrow they decide to bomb, NATO decides to bomb Yugoslavia again for the same reason they bombed it the first time. Would you join in? That was an illegal war. Would you join in? International law. They will join in. Remember, Sweden is a Johnny-come-lately. From yesterday's neutral so-called country, today being the tip of the spear. Maybe this guy's going to send something. And next time, send something to these guys. Like, I know, some money, you know what I mean? So we have this article from Ukrinform, the last one, with Meloni. With Meloni coming to us in a certain way and tells us this. Meloni opposed Ukraine's strikes on Russian territory with weapons from partners. On Sunday, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni again spoke out against Ukraine's use of weapons provided by its partners to strike at Russian territory after NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg's statement. And I'm quoting Meloni. I don't know why Stoltenberg said such a thing. I think we have to be very careful. Yeah, you better be. Meloni said in an interview with Italian radio. She added that she agrees that, and I'm quoting, I agree that NATO must remain firm in your own neighborhood with your own garbage, which is us. All right? Yeah, stay firm. For not give the signal that it's giving in. So you are at war? What do you mean you're giving in? So you're involved. Anyway, it says here, as Ukrinform reported during an interview with The Economist, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg called on the allies to lift restrictions on Ukraine's use of weapons to strike military targets in Russia. And Russia should lift restrictions in hitting targets inside NATO. Good job, Stoltenberg. Oh, no, they can't do that, you say? You. Anyway, so here is, my friends. Well, let me see the justification. All right. He argued that depriving Ukraine of the ability to use these weapons against legitimate military targets in Russia, and I'm quoting, makes it very difficult for it to defend itself. And Russia could claim that it's attacked by NATO. So in self-defense, could, I don't know, use some nuclear weapons? I don't want that to happen, but if they keep pushing with this garbage, that's where they're going to end up. But these guys will stop it before, because the banks will start losing money, and when the banks start losing money, then they will tell their little minions, stop, talk to the Russians. And they will. They will. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. They will talk, don't worry.